I knew that.
No.
I did not body check you.
Yes, you did.
He came with his thing. Y'all, I ain't even doing that. Body check it. I come here 3 times a week. Yeah,
but we can't let them leave and not pay their bill legal.
I'm not talking to
They're in the
you,
United
by the
States
way.
of America.
That's
I'm
fine.
not talking to you.
I appreciate
Charging
that.
them?
You are-
Correct.
You are more than
Correct. So you got me on video?
Yes.
All right, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm saying Didi Mao is Vietnamese for...
What seemed like a normal interaction quickly turned uncomfortable. On August 16, 2024, officers responded to a call from a restaurant about an altercation between customers that had already begun to disturb the environment. By the time officers arrived, the atmosphere had already shifted, and what they walked into was far from simple.
to be in here, to be a part, and for you to tell me to shut the and then call the police, like what?
Do me a favor, bring the person up front.
No, we don't need to talk.
We do need to talk because we're getting complaints of
Ma'am, he gave you a lawful order. You can go outside with us, or you can go out in handcuffs. You can walk out on your own and talk to
So
us.
you on the same thing they on?
We're taking the situation outside. Let's go.
I ain't gotta go nowhere.
You're coming outside too.
Why? You told me to go somewhere?
10-4.
With my
Come
picture?
on,
You
let's go,
told me to
ma'am.
go?
Ma'am, let's step outside.
You told me to
please.
go?
I'm gonna ask you one more time.
What?
Step outside.
What? I'm over here.
But you're instigating the situation. Let's
I
go.
ain't got instigated. I told her to leave.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. Step outside.
You got it. I know the chief, and I know all of them. Wait on, come on. I tried to do something. I'm gonna go. Put my cover on my picture. I'll take it out. Well, I ain't got to pay for nothing.
The fact that other customers were still seated while they were singled out and asked to step outside already tells you something had been building up before officers arrived. Situations like this don't just start suddenly. There is usually a pattern of behavior that leads to that moment. Now, as you watch them outside, one thing becomes very clear. They didn't see anything wrong with what they had done. Even while speaking to officers, their tone and posture showed no reflection on their actions. But as we are about to see in the next clip, their actions outside will give you a clue as to why the restaurant made that decision.
You asked me a question or no?
Okay. When I was standing there, you was instigating.
No, I was not.
Yes, you
I
was.
went to the. I was at the table with
Take
them.
a step back.
And you asked me a
Quit waving your
question.
hands in my face, please.
Give me somebody else to talk to, because he don't want to talk. Oh, and she don't look no better.
Well, unfortunately, I'm the supervisor, so you don't have a choice. You can talk to me. Come on over here and talk to me.
Ma'am, they told us to shut the and then
Tell
called
you
y'all.
something. Ask them, man.
And then called you.
Okay, but can y'all lower your voice?
How can we lower our voice when we is a regular customer just like everybody else? We came to sit down instead of the waitress coming and the manager telling us
I
we were
left
too
her when she was
loud. They
at
told
my
us to
friend.
shut the
Listen,
then they
look,
called you.
look,
At this point, it becomes easier to understand why they were asked to step outside. Even while standing there, they were still loud, still expressive, and not really trying to adjust their tone. Every establishment has expectations, and restaurants are meant to be calm spaces where other customers can enjoy their time. Being asked to lower your voice is not an attack, it is simply maintaining order. We heard them bring up racial claims, trying to suggest there was another reason behind the decision. But from everything visible, it was about behavior, not anything else. Even when a supervisor arrived, there was still resistance. No willingness to pause and reassess, just a continued push to prove a point.
y'all gotta pay, and then y'all getting extremely trespassed, means y'all can't come back.
Not me. I bet you it ain't me.
Yes, ma'am, it is you.
I bet you it ain't.
He tell us y'all need to
I
shut
bet you on it. What on it? I bet you it ain't me. But you get mine. And I'll be here tomorrow.
And make it seem like we just paid our money just like
And you will
everybody.
too.
We
'Cause
have
you ain't
not
nobody.
been in no negligence behavior or anything. If
I'm
you
on to a whole
tell
table.
me, you need to shut the then you call the police. Like this is retarded.
You got your ID?
Now this is where entitlement becomes very clear. Being told not to return and still insisting on going back shows a refusal to accept boundaries. That alone shows how judgment can get clouded when someone feels they must prove a point. Then she added another layer by saying she would not pay for what she had already used. That decision only made things worse. At that moment, the solution was simple. Settle the bill, leave calmly, and move on. There are many other places to go, but choosing to stand there and argue turned a simple situation into something much bigger. You can already tell from this point the situation was heading in a direction that could have easily been avoided.
The white dude was required, and he said, y'all shut the fuck up. First of all, it ain't your place to tell nobody to shut up. So you disrespecting them.
Go figure out whose bill that is.
That's not mine.
So like, that ain't something that you do, because it's a restaurant.
No, I mean, if they
The
have
owner should have took care
The
of it.
owner should have said something.
They was there to take care of it. They said while the owner was there, y'all need to shut the fuck up. And said we're gonna make sure y'all take y'all ass to jail.
But that's the thing,
You don't do
nobody's going to
that.
jail.
You don't do that. And I told them I'm gonna stay here till the police get here. I could have been left before y'all got here. I told them I was be here until the police get here because that's not right. Because I pay my money just like everybody else.
Looking at the situation from another angle, it is possible that something was said that triggered the reaction. But even in moments like that, there are better ways to respond. Speaking with management, stepping aside, or even leaving calmly are all options that keep things under control. Instead, choosing to create a scene only amplifies the situation. Saying you will wait for officers like it is some form of validation does not resolve anything. It only brings more attention to the situation. As officers tried to manage everything calmly, another action crossed the line, and that is where things changed completely.
Criminally trespassed already, all right?
I was trying to get, I'm the one who asked her. I'm the one who tried to calm her down.
Yeah, like this is wrong, man.
Stay here.
I was trying to get her down.
She going to jail?
Yes.
Why?
Because she tried to bump into me on her way out.
She did not. Bro.
Yes, she did.
Hey, chill out. Look, chill out.
Call my mama.
I'm about to go.
Yo, I did not. Call, y'all can hold the owner here. Y'all, I ain't never tried to do nothing to nobody.
This is where everything turned. Her refusal to comply, combined with physical action toward the officer, immediately changed the situation. At that point, it was no longer about the restaurant or the disagreement. It became about her conduct toward law enforcement. If she had simply followed instructions earlier, the situation would have ended outside that restaurant. But now, instead of moving on with her day, she found herself at the back of a police car. She was taken into custody and charged for obstruction and criminal trespass, while the others involved were also charged for criminal trespass. Now, let me ask you this. If you were in that situation and felt disrespected, would you respond immediately, or would you step back and let management handle it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. In our next case, a woman tries to terrorize the whole neighborhood, but the situation takes a turn.
I'm not talking to you, by the way. I'm not talking to you.
I appreciate that.
Correct.
You are more than
Correct. So you got me on video?
Yes.
All right, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm saying Didi Mao is Vietnamese for...
On May 24th, 2025, officers responded to a neighborhood call about a disturbance involving a neighbor making repeated offensive remarks over a parking situation. As officers approached, they were not prepared for how long the interaction would last.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. Wish I didn't have to be here to talk with you about what I'm talking with you about.
Why are you
So-
here?
So,
Because of what?
well, because of what you were doing today. You can't just be
What did I do?
flipping people off, making them feel uncomfortable.
Because
scared.
a Mexican, stopped me?
Okay. I don't think that's what happened.
You know what? They need to go back to Mexico.
Okay, you can't be saying things like that. All
Yeah,
right?
I can.
No,
Yeah, I can. No, it's not racist.
So here's the thing, Tracy.
It's
Tracy.
our president of the United States.
Tracy.
Our president of the United States, Trump.
Listen,
Wait,
just
what?
listen.
Time out. Time the out.
I've seen the notes.
Time the out. When did you see the notes?
She just showed them to me.
When?
Just now.
From when?
It's in the past. I don't know. She said it started
It's in the
3 years.
past.
She said it started
It's
3
in the
years ago.
past.
The notes are.
Right.
But the behavior is continuing.
I don't give a shit.
Okay, well, you probably should, because
No.
that's why we're here.
No.
And then this could lead to
No.
criminal charges if things...
Criminal charges for
Yes.
what? Because they need to
Because-
go back to Mexico?
From the moment she began speaking, it was clear what direction this was going. Her words were not just complaints. They carried statements that targeted others unfairly. Telling people they do not belong or that they should leave is not something anyone has the authority to do. Here is something important to understand. In the United States, every person who is legally present has equal protection under the law, regardless of background. No individual has the right to harass another over where they come from. What also stood out was the fact that officers already knew her. That suggests this was not the first encounter.
They parked there.
They can do that.
They can do that. And
Yes.
they're looking at me.
It's a public street. Everyone pays the same
Diligent.
taxes.
I pay the same taxes too.
All right, then you can also park your car there. But this is...
I don't park my car there.
Tracy, can we all agree that this is a little ridiculous?
No, I can't agree. I can't agree.
Okay. I think what you...
Jackass is contacting me via
That
no
doesn't-
caller ID.
I don't
right?
care. Tracy,
Yeah, you don't care
I
because
don't care about that. I'm not
I
here for
could
that.
die
I'm
and you
not
don't
here for that.
care.
Public streets are maintained by the government, and parking is generally allowed as long as it follows local regulations. No single resident owns the street, and no one has the authority to decide who can or cannot park there. Under general municipal parking laws, any legally registered vehicle is allowed to park on a public street unless restricted by posted signs or local ordinances. So her claims did not hold from a legal standpoint.
They're citizens here
Well,
that can stay here.
Are they citizens?
How would you know that?
How do you know that?
I can't assume that they're not citizens. If someone's here, I just
So,
assume they're citizens
maybe
until
you
I
need
have
to go
evidence.
down there
How
and
do I know
find
you're
out-
how do I know you're a citizen?
Because my dad served in the United States Army.
It doesn't
Well, if
mean
their
you're a
parents served in the United States
I'm a
Army.
citizen.
But how do I know you are compared to them?
Exactly.
So then, should we send you back to wherever your ancestors are?
Where am I? I'm in the United States of
So
America.
are they.
So where are they? I'm not
They're-
talking to
they're
you.
in the United
by the
States of
way,
America.
That's
I'm
fine.
not talking to you.
You
I
can't
appreciate
start
that.
doing that.
Yeah, I appreciate that too.
All right.
Tracy,
I've never seen you.
he's sleeping anyways, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna talk to you.
Now, even if she claimed a background connected to service, that does not give anyone the right to speak to others in that manner. In structured environments like the military, respect and discipline are core values, and discriminatory behavior is not tolerated. Her actions did not reflect that standard. Despite everything happening around her, she still did not see anything wrong with her behavior. That is what made the situation more difficult than it needed to be.
Don't know what you're saying.
I'm saying Didi Mao is Vietnamese for get out.
Okay. Fair enough. June 18th. Don't miss
Bye-bye.
it.
Irrespective of age or personal background, no one has the right to intimidate others in a shared community. Even after receiving a citation for disorderly conduct, there was still no acknowledgement of fault. Disorderly conduct laws are designed to prevent behavior that disrupts public peace, including excessive noise, harassment, or actions that create a hostile environment. That is exactly what officers were addressing here. Now this leaves us with a question. If you were living in that neighborhood, would you report the behavior, or would you try to handle it yourself? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.